Live. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good song. I'm listening to that after the show.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Well, just when you said "Oh Baby," I don't know why. It's just like it just clicked with me. So I just had to.
Oh man, it's Thursday. We're live for 15 seconds.
Starting on the news viewer too.
Oh my god, how ballsy am I? Let's go back to the two-person standard. Here we go.
Classic.
We'll do it how we're supposed to do it. We'll do it in the right order this time.
Yeah, hey, sometimes you gotta mix it up. Hello, human.
Hello.
That's right. Checkpoints. You know it.
Checkpoints.
Checkpoint. I'll be missing them like it's my job. Hope all of you are doing super well today.
Hell yeah.
All those off-stream subs, is that how it works? They still show up?
I think they fall in the little glass. It's a thing. Jay Goosetown, thanks so much for that Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Heck yeah.
Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're gonna get started in just a minute or two here once a few more people get trickling in. Hope everyone's doing good on this Thursday as Halloween approaches. And speaking of Halloween, Brian, what's your favorite candy bar?
My favorite candy bar. So, I'm actually not much of a sweet tooth. I almost never eat candy. So, and like candy bars usually don't do it for me. So I don't really get down on that, unfortunately. I don't really have a favorite candy. If I had a gun to my head, he was just like, "What's your favorite candy bar?" It'd be probably like the Symphony bar, the Hershey's Symphony, the one with that has like nuts and toffee in it or whatever.
How classy!
Those are pretty good. Sometimes I buy like Trader Joe's like sweets, and they'll have like they have like dark chocolate like peanut butter cups, and those are pretty good. I eat stuff like that every now and then, but yeah, Halloween candy kind of stuff. I kind of grew out of that.
Slow Riot, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. Subnet, thank you so much. 2 months in a row with that tier 1 sub, and Jay with that 5 months of Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, our good friends. And I guess with that, it's a pretty good time. Pretty time. It is a pretty time. Every time between 6 and 7:30 is a pretty time. I think sub for filling up that glass, and as that glass fills, let's hit that intro because it's Top Clack time.
Oh yeah.
Starson, thank you so much for that 7 months in a row of Twitch Prime. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the 18th of October for another episode of Top Clack. I'm Man of Interests. That's Quakeums. We talk about keyboards.
Hi, that's me.
Sometimes we talk about keyboards. Sometimes we talk about why pumpkin spice is underrated.
What? I never talked about that. Maybe you do. Pumpkin spice is very much overrated.
I actually had one.
Anyways, we do have some news for you guys today. As usual, we do not have a guest, though, so that's what you're looking forward to. Sorry about that. But we do have some cool things to discuss, and we do have a bit of an announcement later on. So, yeah, we'll get to all of that presently. But, of course, as usual, we'll start out with a little bit of a mail call. I am very boring this week. I didn't receive anything. But Huey is usually much more interesting. He probably did receive some things.
Goodness gracious. I received a keyboard that used to belong to Pudsey. I'm not going to bring it out because it's really bad. I'll say that much. Also,
Speaking of Pudsey, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub.
Thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. They're 2 months in a row, buddy. Let's see. What else did I get? I don't know what I can and can't talk about that I got. Puds, you know which one it is. I didn't tell you that because I wanted to save it for today, buddy. What can I tell you that I got? Tell you guys that I got. I can tell you guys that I guess I'll start with the most exciting thing. Move my camera just to the side. I got this thing, Slaps Hood. Will give you all those force curves. So,
baby, here measure all of your grams.
So it does work. The software kind of works on the computer. I was supposed to get the right cable today, but Amazon decided to give it to a courier who doesn't know how to get to where I live, so it didn't get delivered today. So I had to call them very upset later or tomorrow. Womp. So that's going to be really cool. Excited to be measuring some switches, get you guys some force curve graphs in the future. So that's going to be great. It's going to be great. Well, also again, I can talk about... Oh, there was a keyboard. You guys might have known. If you guys have followed me for a long time, I did a keyboard review. I think over a year ago, and I destroyed that keyboard in the review. A lot of people were upset at me for putting that review out, but I said I would give it that board another shot, and over a year later. I got another one to review to see if it's good, and it is the AcePad Hall Effect board. This is unique, all acrylic. The
R's, G's, and B's, I imagine.
Yeah, it has the R's, G's, and B's. It's all acrylic. Yeah, it's I have words to say about this, and I'll save it for when I go over this board. But that's a thing to talk about itself, because these aren't X-Mint boards anymore. These are Massdrop AcePad Hall Tech boards. Oh, that's a whole thing I can get into in my But that's kind of the most exciting things. Mostly just the texture analyzer. Got this. Saves me a lot of money. If you guys don't know how much these costs. Could have got a car, but I didn't get a car. I didn't pay for this. I got this because I know people who are like, Huey, we need you to measure things. I'm like, I got you. And they're like, do you have Windows XP and Excel 2003? I'm like, I will make that work. Oof, oof. That's mostly the end of my mail call. You guys have already seen I got seal switches last week. Brian got them. We've both built with them. Pretty much liking them quite a bit. Actually did a little bit. Right, yeah, I did a little bit of testing. I'm not typing on them right now, but I was up until like before the show. But speaking of the show, let's get on with the news. And starting off on the news, we have something interesting. A pretty cool set, in my opinion. There's two versions of this set, and in my opinion, there's a good version and a bad version. And let's start off with DSA Scientific. The first picture is, in my opinion, the good version. That's the good version. Functional, thank you for that tier 1 subscription. Okay, I like this. Then we move on to the high contrast / slate blue version. Not cutting it for me. Quite a few renders. Looks pretty nice. Pretty nice renders, in my opinion. Brian, what do you think about this colorway?
I think I am 100% with you. I think the gray / deep teal, excuse me, whatever they're calling it, the gray / deep teal is really the way to go here. I think that looks pretty darn good. I'm not quite as big of a fan as the high contrast / slate blue. As far as the combo, seems a little excessive. But yeah, I could get down on the gray and teal version of this. That seems pretty legit. I'm trying to find out where the science theme is kind of coming in here.
TI-83 calculators.
Got it. I see that now. Fantastic. All right.
I used to have one.
Yeah, I did not have one. But I definitely appreciate this colorway.
I really like it. I think it's from these renders, looks like it's done pretty tastefully, and I'm really looking forward to it. DSA I think is a pretty good match for the theme of this set, since those are small little button keys anyways for a calculator. So I think DSA works perfectly well.
Are they going to choose one of the colors, or are they just doing both?
The intercheck is just for DSA, and he's provided both. I hope he just ends up, or he or she, Voodoo 6K, hope Voodoo ends up just going with the gray/deep teal. As we all know, going with like 2 different alphas doesn't really work unless like it's something already immensely popular, like Carbon running with the base and the bone, right? Fun to be on that in the base plus bone zone. But for this, I don't think like the high contrast / slate blue is captivating enough to make it work. So I'd say this person should just go with gray / deep teal or the combo, as in like take the alphas from the high contrast. But just no slate blue. Sorry.
Yeah, the deep teal I think is really the winner here. IMO.
Yeah.
So yeah, if this is something you guys are interested in, make sure you leave some feedback on this thread for this person. And, maybe you can move this on up to the group buy phase. Moving on up!
Speaking of something else I want to see moved on to the group buy phase is Gok's new interest check for EnjoyPBT Kuro / Shiro. So, taking EnjoyPBT black and white, which has been shipping out and been pretty popular, let's add some sub-legends. Still keeping that very clean look to it, which I really much like. I feel bad I missed out on EBT black and white, so I'm definitely going to be hopping on this like a hot boy.
Yeah, this is pretty much a must-buy for me. I think the black on white just looks absolutely fantastic. I think, having the icon mods is pretty darn nice, and of course, having Japanese sub-legends is something I'm usually a pretty big fan of. So it looks like he's going to be trying to run this through KBD fans, which is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll be able to keep the prices down pretty low. Got a few different kits. It's got the Essentials kit, which is your base kit, of course. Then there's a standard mod kit, a Japanese mod kit, and a 40% ortho kit. So, trying to help out those ortho peeps. Pretty cool. He does add a Google form for the international ISO kit. So, if you guys are interested in the set, but you're like, I need some additional ISO or, whatever, then, maybe that's something to look out for as well.
Yeah.
Is this oh, it's because it's a real picture.
Well, it's a real picture, and then he put the mock-up on top. It's seconds, yeah.
I was like, this looks really clean for a render.
It is really clean for a render. So one thing a lot of people may not know or realize, I've been talking to Gok's actually been working on cleaning up the EnjoyPBT Legends for the die sub. He's been working with the factory and with KBD fans quite a bit. So the black and white set, this one that's shipping out, should actually have better legends than the traditional EPBT sets, and he's working on refining them even more and making sure that when they die sub from now on, they'll be pretty crispy and pretty nice, which is effort that's well appreciated, because I don't think a lot of people looked too deeply into like this really closely into some of the legends for EPBT, aside from certain caps that looked obviously but I'm really happy he's spending the time to make EBT better. I appreciate that.
Hopefully it comes out this clean, because this looks pretty promising.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll still get like a pretty good price too, because as EPBT has been getting better and the kits have been growing, we have been seeing more expensive EPBT sets. EPBT used to generally cost anywhere from like $60 to $80 for a set, and now it's definitely reaching north of $100 for a lot of sets lately. So we'll see what kind of price point we get here. Hopefully it's lower and more accessible for people, because that was kind of really the home run of EnjoyPBT. They offered such great value over something like BMK, for example. Olivia and Pika Joyce, thank you so much for the bits. You guys are awesome. So yeah, be on the lookout for this one, because this will probably happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, EPBT black and white sold out super quick, like maybe a day and a half. Very popular. This is definitely gonna happen. Pretty excited. Something I'm not as excited for, but I understand why I don't understand why they exist, and that's why we're gonna talk about it. The interest check for SA Atlantis, now with renders.
Yay! I like renders. I mean, I wouldn't call these great renders, but
No.
they are renders nonetheless.
In the most technical sense, yes.
Yeah.
Imprivade, thank you for the Twitch Prime, and Chewy, thank you for 3 months in a row of the Twitch Prime. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So, SA Atlantis has 3 different alpha sets, two different modifier sets.
Okay, so this is...
And like 7 different combinations you can put all of them in.
This is kind of like the epitome of going overboard with a set. I don't dislike any of the colors per se, but I feel like there are just way too many options to really fit a theme here. Like I don't know why there are so many freaking colors in the set.
Oh.
I kind of think that some of these combinations could look good.
Yeah.
They could look good.
Give me a second. I can find some words for this. Okay, the lightest, most like that cream with the blue on cream alphas with those blue on cream mods is like the only thing I see that like isn't blinding or like.
I kind of like the blue on cream mods with the alphas that are below it. I feel like that could be interesting too.
I feel like that's already a set in SA that almost exists already.
That's very possible. Very possible. Yeah, this is clearly a pretty early interest track. Don't have a ton of information. He's kind of laying out some colors here, gauging interest, of course. And some people seem to be kind of into it, so you know, that's something to each their own, of course. But yeah, right now, not really doing it for me.
Well, if you want to ask me why, it's because he says, I was thinking the other day what color schemes would work and developed SA Atlantis. Huey, designer tip, not that I'm a great designer, take more than 1 day to design. Get feedback. This is like one way to get feedback, but you should talk to people you know about, does this work? So someone could possibly say, you're doing too much at once.
Olivia says, throw colors at a wall.
That's unfortunately what this is. I hope Dazin, not sure how you say his or her name, who also lives in Atlantis according to Keycap, can you know, focus this a lot more, because this really is throwing things out there to have things out there, as opposed to like having I see no concrete idea. I don't see how the theme of Atlantis even makes sense.
This needs to be trimmed down. It needs to be revised, revamped, revisited. It needs to have a lot more focus. It's too cluttered right now. I think there could be something here. But it's just, like Olivia said, just throwing colors at a wall, seems like.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's enough. That's enough color throwing for us at the moment. Now we'll move on to something that is, well, still fairly colorful, but we're moving out of keycaps now. Moving on to.
Although the keycaps reminded me of a better version of what we just saw, but this is the group buy for the Modern Dasher D60, a custom 60%. And what makes it different, as this section says? This is a quote universal end quote 60% keyboard case that supports both top and tray mount case plates. Pretty cool. Yeah, it can support basically any kind of plate, quote unquote. Split spacebar, RGB, Alps, so on. Third-party plates, custom plates, heavy, thick. Assembled is going to be 4.25 kilograms or 9.37 pounds, which is that's
a heavy keyboard.
That's some heft. It does look pretty chunky and thick, which makes sense. It's kind of a badge. 3 layouts, GH60, HHKB when keyless. So there's standoffs on the bottom. It looks like there's tray mounting on the top, as well as sandwich-ish mountings on the bottom as well. No, those just count as the top. Yeah.
is a pretty polarizing design.
Yes.
I will say that I'm very curious to know how it supports top and plate mount. The sentence is D60 can support all of them with third-party plates or custom plates. What does that mean exactly?
Well,
Does that mean this will be offered with specific custom plates that you can choose from, or that it'll support
I think they
any
just.
custom plate on the market?
I just think they mean people can design their own custom plates and throw them in because he'll provide the screw specs for the spacing. That's what I think by custom. But I mean, like, so on the bottom we see the little standoffs for normal tray mount, and from the top piece we see holes where you could screw in the plate to go in itself. And I guess really the best way to make this work that they've decided is let's just make this thick so it's hollow on the inside, so it's top mounted. It's not going to be touching those standoffs on the bottom unless those are removable. But yeah, so we're looking at $245 for the case, a breakout board, and the badge, and I guess possibly stickers. Some different colors. You can be by Fox Lab: black, gray, silver, dark blue, white. The blue does look actually pretty nice. IMO with that key set.
Yeah.
Big old weight on the back. It's a hefty board.
This is a thick keyboard. So you can add carbon fiber or aluminum plates, $25. Brass plate's going to run you $45. Custom carbon fiber plate, $30. What's the difference between carbon fiber plate versus custom carbon fiber plate? Is that their way of saying tray mount versus top mount? Need some clarifications there.
Maybe like you can like specify what layout you want it to be, milled in. Like I want, 2U spacebar because I'm the devil kind of thing.
Yeah, I suppose so, definitely.
Well, the group buy is open. It's closing at the end of this month, which I guess makes sense. Seems kind of on the quick side, to be honest, but maybe they.
It's a little quick, yeah. But hey, it is what it is. Expected lead time 60 to 100 days. So yeah, about 2 to 3, maybe a little bit longer months. Not terrible. That's about what you'd expect from most keyboard group buys these days. So yeah, I'm very interested. This is not the first time we reviewed or seen something that has featuring both top mount and tray mount. Something we have seen before on the G60, if I recall. And the way they did it was they had a custom top mount plate that you would use normally, but they also had standoffs on the bottom that were a little bit lower, so you could use tray mount in there, but the standoffs wouldn't actually touch the PCB, which is what I thought would happen. But apparently they are trimmed down so where they will not interfere with that. So that way you'll still get the flex from the top mount, which makes sense because you wouldn't want a top mount board that has standoffs for PC or for tray mount if they're just going to interfere. That takes away the flex entirely.
The funny thing is I talked to the designer about that, and I can get like longer M2 screws to have like, I'm just going to call it like the Huey rock mount, where it's top mount and tray mount at the same time, baby.
Rock mount. Wow.
It's solid like a rock. But this is something that's available. What do you think about this? $245. Let's say we got the case, breakout board, stickers. We're at $245. Maybe we provide our own PCB, because whatever.
Let's do a little calculator.
And then pull out your DSA Scientific calculator. And then we get let's say we get a brass plate because we're ballers. $245 plus another $45. We're at $290. No PCB because we got our own. We're ballers, right? We're at $290.
We are, but other people might need a PCB included with this.
Okay, $330 then.
Let's just assume they're buying the $40 included PCB.
Okay, so we're at $330.
Yep.
So let's so 2.2 PP, and then we got the shipping for 10 pounds assembled, which means probably shipping for 9 pounds, 8 to 9 pounds, 9 pounds.
Where's it shipping from? No question.
Probably Asia.
Probably somewhere in Asia. We can pretty much ballpark $50 shipping here. I would say 40 at minimum, but probably closer to 50, maybe even 60. So we'll say 50. So we're at $380 before PayPal fees. I guess that's not really out of the ballpark of like a custom full 60% these days. And especially one, a lot of people are super into heavy and thick keyboards, and this has got you on both of those fronts. So if you want a huge keyboard that's super thick and weighs more than any other 60% of the block, you know, maybe that's some value for you guys.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. We'll have to... I want to see one of these in person.
Yeah,
really
so would I. So would I. If you're looking for a big, thick and heavy, this is, and at 60%, this is kind of one of your best bets if those are some of the main criteria you want to fulfill, other than you might like the unique design the keyboard has going for it, with that, you know, that forehead on top with the badge, the giant weight on the bottom, and how the base kind of like bevels out at the edge with the really, really low PCB, the USB port. So check it out when you get a chance. But let's move on to the next one. I think a lot of people are really interested in checking out, because gasket mounts. You heard me. Yep. Gasket mount, and we're gonna gush about gasket mounts like a Volcano, because this is the Volcano 660.
That was really forced.
Gush.
That was really forced, like magma up through the. All right. Oh god, this show.
Okay.
All right. So yes, the Volcano 660. Bring the gasket mount back is the tag headline here. So kind of like I've been somewhat predicting, I really do think 2019 is going to be the year of gasket mount. We're going to see a lot more of it. I would wager. I've already seen it here and there. The #1 TKL, which launched not too long ago, is gasket mount. Of course, some smaller group buys and older group buys are also gasket mount. But it's not really like there yet. There's not a bunch of options on the market, and most of them are very expensive and very hard to get. So maybe this guy's trying to make a little bit of a change in that, hopefully. So here we have a pretty generic but very elegant looking 66 key layout. I don't know if I never know whether to call this a 66% or like a 66 key layout. But either way, you guys know what I'm talking about here. It's like the FC6CC or M kind of layout. Pretty nice. It looks like it will have the top mount, gasket mount plate, which is pretty cool as well. I do like that he has an exploded view here, so we can see that he actually will be including gaskets for both sides of the plate. I really do like this implementation more than just having it on one side, personally. So you really get that tight gasket goodness.
So one thing I love on the exploded view that I think everyone will notice is, like, on the PCB, you'll notice they did like the top row, and then like, wait a second, why do I need to fill out the whole render for this PCB? I'm just gonna make the rest blank.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's great.
That's called either saving time or not having enough time to finish your homework.
Yeah. That's just.
But fantastic. I do want to talk about this PCB for a moment, because this PCB is going to have a Bluetooth and a wired. It's a Bluetooth and wired PCB from Yang, and then the other PCB option is a boot mapper option with a semi-transparent PCB, which sounds really cool until you read it's from Percent, which doesn't have the best track record with PCBs, unfortunately. Hopefully that improves. I'll say that. Hopefully it improves. But that is definitely going to be a worry. But fortunately, they do have the other option. But the bad thing with the other option is that's like a lot of people don't like the Chinese TMK, QMK web configurator thing for reasons.
It's a little clunky if you're, not fluent in Chinese, at the very least.
Yeah, Radical Randy, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime subscription. So that's kind of
I think, as well as Corbin Dallas.
And Corbin Dallas, 13 months in a row, Corbin. Thank you. So
yeah. PCB
wise, that's kind of the, but you got to save costs when this is going to be an estimate of $250.
Yes, which seems Really, really good.
Ah.
He does say estimate. I'm going to expect this to cost more based on everything that's going into this. I mean, you get a two-piece housing design. You get what appears to be a brass plate. You get gaskets for both sides. You get a PCB. You get a brass weight. Like, come on. This is going to be more than $250. Just saying. Unless that's not including a lot of these things.
Yeah.
Anyways, yep, you get your 6 series aluminum for the body, brass for plate and weight, gasket mount design. Typing angle is a pretty casual 5 degrees. The top case has a natural CNC milled curve of about 2 degrees. The net weight of each keyboard is about 2 kilograms, which is about 4.4 pounds in freedom units. And he goes on to talk about the boxes, the package stuff, how the hardware is included. So looking pretty darn good. If they can hit this price, I think this is going to be a really big winner, and it's going to sell a lot because a lot of people have been looking forward to trying gasket mount, but they basically can't. So hopefully something like this can actually change that.
Yes.
We'll see some cool gasket mount goodness at a good price.
Yes.
Fingers crossed on this one.
So if it stays at around, let's say it goes up to 300, would you consider getting this, Brian?
Yes.
Yeah. For me, it's like like I like the idea of double gas-sided gaskets. I just don't like that layout. It's like,
yeah, I don't care for the layout either. This would be a board that I would get purely for typing experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit harder to sell one of these to me than a lot of other people, I think, because I've experienced multiple gasket mounts boards at this point, and I have the Beam, which I have the same kind of gasket configuration. So, I mean, if I did not have a gasket mount board, I would absolutely pay $300 for these, a full kit for this.
Yeah.
And I think it would be totally worth it too. If it feels anything like my meme, it's gonna be a great typing. Totally worth it.
Agreed there. So, you mentioned typing experience, which is one thing I do want to talk about on our next interest check I want to cover. This was by Kono. They just launched a big emailer, so we'll be covering a few of their things. This is the Skog Light, and this is going to be a PCB mount keyboard. It's what it is, PCB mount. But here comes, like my worry I expressed earlier, a percent PCB. A lot is riding on this PCB not being like how the Canoe PCBs turned out. A lot. Like, that can make or break the Skog Light. Personally, I do like the feel of PCB mount. I have another PCB mount and a half plate mount planned pretty soon that I'll be working on and filming. I'm excited about those. But like this, if the PCB does turn out decent, I'd be pretty excited for a good PCB mount, like the Skog Light. And with the Skog Light, I think one of the biggest things that's going to be a make or break is the look. Because a lot of people don't like how they moved the print screen, scroll lock, and pause down to fit the Skog Light logo. Which, it's kind of the opposite of what they did in Canoe, where they have that expands outwards on the top left to put Canoe. And this one, they did the opposite, where like they compressed keys in to fit it and keep the same form factor.
Yeah. We did cover this a little bit when it was kind of teased on Instagram a while back, but this is like the official interest check of it. Personally, I think it looks awesome. One thing I'm always a big fan of is things that are just different than the norm, and I think this is definitely out there. When you pay a lot of money for a keyboard, I don't want it to just be like every other keyboard. And the problem with a lot of TKLs on the market now is a lot of them, I mean, unless you flip them over, a lot of them look almost identical. And it's cool. It's not like they're not nice keyboards or anything, but I'm always looking for some kind of other innovations as well. And I think the Skog Light is pretty sweet in that. I think it just looks freaking awesome. I would totally love to try one of these. And judging by these pictures, like you said, it is a PCB mount, and it will be mounted via tray, judging by the standoffs at the bottom there.
Yes.
Yep. So pretty interesting there. I hope, really hoping at least, you can customize the color of this inner frame.
That's what it looks like.
And the outer frame.
Yeah.
That way you can get some pretty interesting color combinations. I think that would be a pretty big win for this group buy.
Yeah. So one thing I did want to point out, since you mentioned, is that tray-mounted PCB. One thing I seem to notice is they've kind of put no mounts in the middle, right? Thereby, your pipe backslash, space bar, right shift, caps lock, between where your numbers meet your function keys and by the arrow keys. So they're kind of away from your main typing section to see, so you get that nice, more of that bounce feel that you're supposed to get with PCB mount. I appreciate the thought that went into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, not the first time we've seen the mitigation of that center kind of post where there's normally a peg there for stability. Zondat has I forgot the name of it now, but
T60.
He has the T60, yeah, where he has it's a tray mount, but he has omitted the center pegs there, so in theory it has a flexier feel. So hopefully you'll get a pretty nice typing experience there. In the description here, they do actually focus on that a little bit. So they do note that it allows the PCB to flex slightly while typing, preventing harsh bottom out. So pretty interesting stuff there. Tray mount has long kind of since been a harsher bottom out, regardless, because you're typing right into standoffs. So we'll kind of see how that works here. I do like the fact that they did remove the center peg here. I think I honestly would have also liked to see the removal of the one by the spacebar. If you're really going to try to, put flex back into the typing experience, I think that one needs to be gone as well. But maybe that's just a minor gripe on my end.
I think the reasoning against that is you want a firm spacebar, because people are used to firm spacebars, like in terms of bottoming out, because you're more likely to smash your spacebar. So you want to you want that support.
No, I mean I totally get it. It's just I think that having that there is still going to make the alpha typing experience not as flexy as it.
Yeah, you're right about that though. So
regardless, I'm hoping to see a pretty nice price here, since A, it is a tray mount, and B, there is no plate. So hopefully they're saving some costs there, and you can actually get a pretty low priced product here. That would be really kind of the win.
Yes.
IMO.
Yes, indeed. So check it out when you get a chance. I'm gonna check it out. I'm probably gonna get one. We'll see. But let's move on to our next Kono.store interest check. I guess this is a waitlist actually, so this is already going to happen, just like the other one. The Kira 60. So they brought us one Kira by Thesis Camper, and here's another Kira, because Kira is a popular name in Thesis Camper's dictionary of names. First one was a 96 key. Here's a 60%. And as we get to the look, because the look has that very interesting angled edges, I don't want to read this blurb that I know that someone's like, there's too much white space on the screen. You have to write something. Kira 60 is influenced by the angular designs found in technology, graphics cards, computer case panels, and many other sources contributed to its stark yet elegant lines. The PCB will be equally modern. That last sentence should be going on the next paragraph, which is a big major thing, but ignoring that paragraph that doesn't need to exist. Input Club also, this means they're working on a new universal 60% PCB that's USB-C equipped, which is great. Hopefully it's affordable. It has a lot of features people would like, whether it be RGBs or some other things.
Yep. It does say it'll support multiple layouts and feature full programmability. By saying it'll support multiple layouts, that means it probably won't have hot swap sockets, since usually that'll limit you to just one layout. So probably not going to see those here. But they do say feature full programmability. So probably pretty good. I imagine you'll be able to use KLL or whatever they use here, but probably also QMK. I think that can always be ported. So that'll make some people happy for sure. One thing I am completely confused about, and there's no info or pictures to prove otherwise, is this a tray mount?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I have no idea. This could totally be a tray mount. I don't see a seam anywhere on it, really.
I see a seam.
I don't know if that's is that actually a seam or is that part of the design?
No. Look on the front towards you. On the first picture, there's on the silver side, you see a seam on the bottom, the front. Do you see that seam?
Oh, okay.
That's the same.
Now I see that. Okay. So that means this is most likely a two-piece design, meaning this is probably not tray mount. This is probably going to be a top mount, which should make some people happy. I know most people generally prefer that typing experience over tray. So pretty cool there. Let's talk about price. Since they don't have it listed. What do we think this is cost?
Case plus plate, and this is going to be including the new designed PCB. I'm going to guess $240 plus shipping.
Do you think there's going to be a weight on this case?
No.
Okay, I don't think so either. I'm gonna ballpark 300 for shipping for a full kit, and that'll include PCB, plate, and housing, of course. So we'll have to be on the lookout for this. This is gonna be launching soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty excited to see just how it turns out. I'm more excited about that PCB though. See what they do with that PCB. We'll see.
Yeah.
But let's move on to something that's here, okay? And this is the group buy for the wireless hot swappable macro pad, the Honeycomb. I saw this earlier and I was like, this is really cool. And the reason you guys might know that I think is really cool because recently I built my own rotary encoder, which this macro pad has support for, which I thought was really, really nifty. And it's also in the shape of a Game Boy Advance cartridge.
Not Advance.
No, sorry, Game Boy
OG
cartridge.
Game Boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool. You got a hot swappable macro pad. It does have that knob on it. He has a little video of it working, and it seems pretty darn cool. IMO. I was checking that out earlier. I think. Do you think knobs are going to become more of a thing on keyboards?
I don't know. Maybe for like obscure things like 40% or other things that I don't know. I'm building like a macro pad that's gonna have one, so I don't know. They're really easy.
Knobs are pretty cool.
They're pretty easy to hook up, so it's not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Yep. So, anyways, this will be wireless. It'll have KL hot swap sockets. It'll be QMK compatible. He's touting a 6-month battery life, optional rotary encoder, of course, and a specially modified 3D printed case that will be open to everyone. So, open source. Pretty cool. He'll have black, white, or purple PCBs. Anyways, it looks like the price is going to be about $45. That'll include your PCBs, your programmed NRF modules, your Pro Micro, the hot swap socket, screw standoffs, and your rotary encoder is going to be $3. But he'll also include all of the SMD components, resistors, diodes, etc. So pretty interesting, pretty inexpensive, honestly. It's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Check it out when you get a chance. I might get one. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive, and it seems very fun.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So check it out when you get a chance. Group A is going on now. It's pretty cheap for the kit, to be honest. Cases aren't bad either. You know, it's kind of all done for you if you can get one up. Yeah. Maybe I should work on my macro pad a little more. Man of interest macro pad group buy, with knobs and joysticks. I'm working on a joystick for mine because I'm
really.
I am, yeah.
Oh,
I know how to get it hooked up. I just need to figure out the QMK support because people want me to use QMK for reasons. Yeah. But I like this idea, and I'm probably going to support it. So check it out when you get a chance on Mac Market right now. You got 2 weeks, so please join. It's only shipping out probably in a month is the estimate, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Okay, before we go to the next topic, I'm going to the restroom. I drink like 2 bottles of water like right now. So you can.
I'm going to move to the next topic then.
Okay, you go for it.
That way people just don't have to sit here. So pretty interesting situation going on over at Massdrop. Here's a little link from their Instagram story that they very recently posted. So basically, the gist of this is the Rama M10B group buy was going on at Massdrop, and there were a lot of changes made, particularly to the packaging, what it seems like. And Massdrop made a lot of changes without even consulting Ramaworks about it, which is very, very unfortunate. This is not the first time we've seen this from Massdrop, but it's certainly unfortunate. But I'll let you guys go ahead and read through this at your own leisure, since I'm probably not just read it all on stream. But the bottom line is Massdrop did stuff, and Ramaworks was not happy with what happened, and they will most likely be not working with Massdrop ever again. And if you guys remember, not too long ago, there was a post on Keep Talk where Mike of Novelties actually said something very similar. And he will no longer be working with Massdrop ever again either. So pretty interesting situations developing over on Massdrop. And not a whole lot of people are very happy about this, except for maybe Massdrop themselves. I don't know. But very interesting situation.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this, Huey? How do you feel about this Massdrop situation?
I feel a lot of things, mostly justified, but that doesn't really help the conversation though. But how I feel is I know quite a few people at Massdrop, and one of the things I've always kind of noticed is there's kind of a big disconnect between the people you know, or the faces of the keyboard people like Yanbo and Duncan and a few other individuals, and the actions they do, right? I look at Yanbo, I'm like, he's a pretty nice guy, but why is he doing this stuff? And sometimes it's just people way up above, you know.
Upper management.
Massdrop does have to answer to investors and have to answer to different people that require them to do certain things that the community may disagree with, that vendors may disagree with. And sometimes a lot of it is spelled out in the agreement, which, you know, they'll have Yanbo or someone else lie to the person, oh yeah, you can do this, 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 this. And when you look over the agreement, upper management will be like, nope, it's our design, or nope, we get full control because you signed this thing, ha 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 ha, even though we told you otherwise because law, ha ha ha. And that kind of sucks for a lot of people. You see, if you go to the Massdrop post, you can actually kind of see how it changed.
Yeah,
and
very unfortunate.
Yeah, and you know, a really, really big part of it that I'm kind of upset about is like the fact that like none of the changes was communicated to Rama or Kate or anyone on their team. By the way, Ramaworks is like an actual team of like 5-6 people now, in case no one's caught up with the news. So that's a big disappointerino in my book. Remember when we first started talking about Massdrop, you know, year and a half, 2 years ago, when like, oh wow, they're doing all these cool things. They're allowing, you know, smaller vendors to get out there, get their names out there, and, you know, get to wider audiences and help with fulfillment. Nowadays, I feel like a lot of it is just like, are you sure you want to go with Massdrop? Are you sure you want to have them own it for the sake of it running?
You know, what's actually funny is I had a pretty personal conversation with Yanbo at the most recent Seattle meetup, which was just a couple months ago, and he was like, man, like he pulled me aside and he's like, man, a lot of things are changing at Drop. Like we have a lot of new people in upper management, and like it just doesn't feel like a family. Like it actually feels like a business. And I was like, wow, that I see the direction this is going. And I think other people are starting to see the direction it's going as well.
So anyone who, yeah,
it's very unfortunate, and I think a lot of people at Massdrop, like Huey said, are actually good people, but unfortunately, the higher ups, investors, things like that, like they care about money. That's all they care about. It's a business. They want money. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about little niche communities like us. We're just a drop in the bucket for them.
So to anyone who's ever going to consider running anything through Massdrop, I highly urge you to be very careful, at least because we're a very niche community with little representation to support or anything. Be very careful and very diligent when you read through the contract that they hand you. Have you touched on Mike yet?
I mentioned it.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, there's multiple profiles in the community that was like, you know what? No thanks, Massdrop.
Yeah.
We don't want to get burned, or we don't want to get burned again, depending on who it is or isn't. And for a niche community, wow, that's a thing, because the only reason Massdrop kind of succeeded in mechanical keyboards was the niche community, and at this point, part of me thinks they're just gonna like say bye, Felicia, because they kind of have a
it would be like no sweat off their foreheads either. Like it would just be another day for them.
Which that's what it kind of is today. No one at Massdrop is going to see this right now. I'm pretty confident, unless someone like links at the Yenbo right now. None of them watch Top Clack. None of them really care about what happens in the community, to a pretty high degree. Otherwise, they would have like talked to Rama about any of the things they did. But they did it because to them it's just a product, and I mean that in the most like demeaning way and how they viewed it. Like, oh, it's just a product, as long as it relatively matches this kind of numpad-ish thing, whatever these crazy kids are up to in that weird community that we have Yanbo keeping tabs on. Mustache twirl, mustache twirl.
What totally sucks is like people like Yanbo are totally cool too. Like I have no doubt that I think like as a person, Yanbo likes keyboards and he wants the best for the community. Like I have no doubt in my mind about that. But unfortunately, he's an employee in it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
There's not a whole lot of people can do, and it's very unfortunate, because it seems like what we've been seeing over the last year or two is when someone runs a product through Massdrop, you get that reach because there's such a large corporation in our community these days, but you basically sign away all your rights to the product. Like it's like it was designed by you or whatever, but like that's it. There's like you get nothing in anything anymore.
I'll be frankly honest. There's been 3 different individuals in the last 6 months who's coming up to me and be like, "Hey Huey, I'm thinking about running X, Y, or Z, and I was thinking about who should I run it with? Should I run it through Massdrop? Should I run it through Novelty? Should I run it through Kono?" All I tell them is, don't run it through Massdrop. That's the only thing I really tell them, to be honest. Like, just consider all those options equally, except for Massdrop. Don't.
Yeah. It's a bummer. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like they're just slowly but surely digging a deeper grave for themselves in our community, at the very least. But, again, like I said, we're just kind of a drop in the bucket for them anyways, so it's kind of largely irrelevant for them, which is saddening, people like us.
Oh yeah, and the whole XMIT thing too, but that's yeah.
That's a tale for another day.
XMIT, I salute you. That sucks.
Yeah. There's a lot of people unhappy with Massdrop right now. A lot of people. A lot of influential people in our community are not happy with Massdrop. But I know that's right now that's the way it is. But on a happier note, there are a lot of other vendors in the community that are very, very nice and do a lot of cool things and are actually, very supportive of our small niche community. And, some of them sponsor this very show that you're watching now. And so we have a couple sponsors for you today. We do have, of course, Novelties.xyz starting us off, where you can find all sorts of cool switches and desk mats and other products. All the new revamped Kale switches are up here. We got the retooled box switches in now, so your caps won't be shattering anymore. It's got some group buys going on, including the GMK Chocolatier, which is by Zombie-Mon, if I recall. And the Space Cadet desk pads, which just recently went up as well. So pretty cool stuff there. And of course, we're still doing the SA Violet on Cream, which I believe he is a big fan of. And if you use promo code TOPCLACK, you get 5% off your entire order. So
sounds good. Sounds good.
Heck yes. Who else we got, Huey?
Next up, we have Zeal Generations, who runs Zeal PC, who is running the group buy / pre-orders 4, probably one of the biggest things that's going to be happening this year in terms of switches, because they are honestly pretty amazing in my opinion, and that's like an honest opinion. You got the Orange Helios, you got the Xylens V2s, the Zeals V2s, you know, with those nice, crispy start at the top, bump style tactility. They're really nice. I'm really liking them. He also has got the new Rev 4 Zeal 60 RGB LED PCBs with the black on gold or gold on black. Of course, you got the standard PCB mount finish, PCB mount stabs. You got some Telios if you want some of the nicest linears on the market. And hey, let me know if you want to hear my unlubed Helios and lubed Helios typing sounds, because those might be ready to upload tonight. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't want to hear them. Maybe I should just delete them. I don't know. Tell me. You tell me. But while you're telling me, check out Zeal PC for some amazing switches in the upcoming pretty soon, in the next couple months.
Heck yeah.
Who else do we have?
We also have Input Club, who owns Econo.store. And you can find all sorts of cool things there as well. They got, like we just talked about earlier, they have the, wow, what do we talk about? The Skog Light interest check going on right now, as well as the Kira 60 that we were also just talking about a few moments ago. Those going on right now. GMK Shoko and GMK Calm Depth, both in interest checks right now. Both pretty awesome sets, IMO. Of course, they have group buys going on right now for SIA Royalty and SA Symbiosis, which I'm a pretty big fan of. GMK Monochrome says it's still up, but I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure that ended already, so I don't think you can get that anymore. But they actually are doing... Oh, they have a pre-order up, sorry. Now you can pre-order it for the extra half. But they also have... Try to find it here. Should have pulled this up earlier. They have a giveaway. GMK Monochrome, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, I should have pulled this up earlier. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I know where to find this, though.
This guy.
This guy. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. Pulling it up. I can only move as fast as my internet lets me. Come on. All right. I'm actually going to post this link.
Okay.
In the group buy. Or in the chat, obviously. Wow, it's a really long link. Sorry, guys. But that is your entry for GMK Monochrome, plus extras, plus that sweet artisan that comes with it. So full GMK Monochrome set, group buy,
giveaway
set, all going. Yeah, the giveaway. It's going to be freaking awesome, though.
Join it.
That is.
Tell your mom to join it. Tell your dad to join it. Tell your Uncle Ricky to join it. Tell
your senpai.
Yeah. So check it out when you get a chance. Last but not least, we got the Beasts of the East and from the East, Z Frontier. Check out their ZF71 they're working with Durgod on. It's basically a very similar board to Unique Keys, which is GMK's keyboard brand, their C70, except you got that USB-C, you got that R's, G's, and B's. It is programmable as well, but very similar layout. No GMK keycaps, but it has some different awesome features worth checking out. And in addition to that, they have their for the Aurora 96, which is a 96 key pre-order hot swappable aluminum mechanical keyboard for $200. So another option if maybe you like that cone feet style and you feel bad that you missed out on the Kira, and maybe you don't like as blingy as the Kira. This is another 96 key option that is completely hot swap. So check it out when you get a chance for $200.
That ZF71, by the way, is something Top Clack will be getting a review sample of. So I will be doing a review of the ZF71. Pretty looking forward to that. Should be pretty darn Gucci gang.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Last but not least, you. Thank you everyone who watches, supports, subscribes, follows, donates bits, etc., 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 supports us. Because it means a lot.
Yeah.
Top Clack can't happen without the people.
That's very true. We will roll into a little bit of the Q&A momentarily, but we have a little bit of an announcement before then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, take it away, Huey.
I'll take the floor, take the stand, take the podium. So I do have an announcement to make. I guess I'll just get into it. This is my second to last Top Clack episode. My last Top Clack episode will be next Thursday on the 25th of October, and the end of my term at Top Clack will conclude at the end of this month on the 31st. I am going to be moving, not physically, but moving my projects and my deals to another way. So I'm going to be moving off and away from Top Clack. Brian is going to be taking over Top Clack as the sole individual man in charge of Top Clack. And, I leave Brian in a great place because I know Brian's going to take care of Top Clack, something that we've built together. I still support Top Clack fully, on the 8th of November, on that Thursday. You guys are going to see my sub pop up right there on the screen. But these are my last 2 episodes on Top Clack. After that, I'll be taking aside from the meetup, a very minor 1 to 2 week keyboard sabbatical where I have some other minor projects I'll be working on. And then after that, in the future, I'll be putting up new content elsewhere. I don't know if I should advertise that yet. But I'll wait till either next week or the week after. But I will still be in the keyboard community, very, very involved. Otherwise, I wouldn't have just got a texture analyzer for switches. But I will not be a part of Top Clack after the 31st. Next week will be my last episode. But I leave Top Clack to Brian, and I'm really confident Brian can pull through. So just want to make the announcement today.
Yeah, we wanted to let you guys know as soon as possible, so that's why we decided to do it today and not have it be too much of a surprise later on. I know a lot of you are probably, wondering why, and a lot of people are, saying rip Top Clack, things like that. Top Clack will continue to go on.
Yes.
All right. Top Clack is not dying. It's not ending. I will still be continuing Top Clack. Whether I will be acquiring another host, a new host, or, other personnel or something, to help with Top Clack, I am not certain yet what I plan to do, but at least in the very immediate short term, it'll be just me for a little bit. And, we'll roll through this together. It'll be pretty darn awesome still regardless. And, for anyone who's wondering, Huey and I are totally cool. There's no bad blood here. There's no hard feelings. This isn't a sorrowful parting. This is totally fine. Huey has served a very huge, epic role in Top Clack, of course, and I am very thankful for everything that he's done for both it and myself. But sometimes things just they don't always go 100% perfect, and sometimes that's totally fine. Huey's going to move on to his own stuff, and that is totally cool. And like he will support Top Clack, I will support the stuff that he does, and I'm sure both will be freaking awesome. So just keep that in mind, guys. It's going to be really cool stuff either way. Huey's still going to be doing awesome stuff. I'm still going to be doing awesome stuff. We just won't necessarily be doing it together anymore, and that's totally fine. But I might acquire another host. I have a couple people in mind. Not 100% sure yet, but we'll see where that goes. But of course, we'll keep you updated on everything. But I'm sure you guys have questions about that or other things right now, so you can also just roll into a Q&A. So if you guys have questions for either of us about anything, fire away. So yeah, everyone's going to be sad. Pudsey, guess you need a new host. Yes, but Top Clack, certainly not dying. The weekly live show will continue. I'll still be doing build streams. I'm going to be putting out reviews. I'm still going to be working on some YouTube content in the works right now that I need to finish up. So, things are going to be obviously a little different without Huey. But, it's still going to be Top Clack. It's still going to be the same goal. Still going to be good times. Still very much appreciate you guys. And we'll be going through some stuff, and it'll be good.
Of course, if you have any questions, hit that @TopClack in the chat, so it's a bit easier for us to read it out. Puds, do you want me to show you your old board? This is your old board, and you want me to explain the shittiness of it? This plate, these switches aren't even mounted fully into the plate, by the way. Like, everything in the middle isn't actually mounted to the plate, which is, like, makes the plate not really a point. You, for some dumb reason, after you put the LEDs in, bent the LED pins to make it just horrible for whoever has to remove them. So thanks for that, Pudsey. Otherwise, it's actually otherwise it's fine. I'm just gonna like going slowly and being miserable and taking it apart. But hey, I got a KBD 75 that I could do experiments with.
I like Generic's draft says Quakeum's gonna release a diss track on Huey now. That got me laughing. That got me laughing for sure. That's great. Olivia as host. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. But I definitely hope you guys will continue to watch and support and enjoy Top Clack. As you know, the soul of Top Clack will of course go on. That's not going to change. Eric Drafts asking how you guys doing. Doing pretty well, actually.
Pretty hunky dory.
Certainly be worse. I just ate before the show, which I like never do. I usually wait till afterwards, so I'm not hungry, which is really, really interesting to be on Top Clack and not be hungry. So that would be NGB asking, when do you getting Grid 600 prototype? I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that Top Clack is getting a Grid 600. We are also getting the HB85 and the ZF71. Both of the latter two there are actually being shipped already. Olivia, is Vector coming back? I haven't talked to Vector in a while. I have. He's always busy. I have no idea.
I've literally not talked to that guy in like 7 months.
Quantric, can we do a straw poll to decide on the new Top Clack host? If I decide to bring on a new host, I will.
I think it'll just happen.
It'll probably just happen, but it'll be a decision where I definitely will be making the final say, of course. But I have thought about doing some kind of straw poll or Google form. See maybe if there was just 1 or 2 or 3 resounding people that people would just be like, oh my god, it has to be this person. Because we obviously do want to make people happy. I do have a couple people in mind. I have kind of a list of qualifications that I kind of want. You know, because Huey is obviously very hard to replace. He's been around the community forever. He's very knowledgeable, and you know, he has a great outlook in mind for this community. So
if I can make a suggestion, you should make it a game show, like a reality game show, like from the the late 2000s, where it's like, you are the weakest host. Goodbye.
Oh, wow. You know what I was thinking of last night? I thought it would be fun to just have like live on Top Clack tryouts where I'll bring on one person. Like I'll have like a list of people to bring on, and I'll bring on one person at a time, and we'll do like a very mini, like short Top Clack episode and see how it goes with each person. That'd be hilarious. I don't know. This is, like I said earlier, guys, in the very short term, at the very least, it's just going to be me. It's just going to be me for at least a little bit, while I kind of get my footing and figure out everything I want to do. And, you know, if I decide to bring on a new host, you guys will obviously be about it. Polyzoo asking, Huey, what's your plan going forward? Are you exploring other collaboration options or going rogue?
Great question. So I didn't really touch about this, so I guess I'll touch about it now. So my main departure from Top Clack is, a lot of it is just a creative departure, because Top Clack, as a show you guys know now, does have some content on the YouTube, but primarily like 75+% of what drives Top Clack is this live stream every week and our keyboard chores. That's the honest truth. And for me personally, I want to get more into regularly produced content to release to the community, like weekly videos, less focus on live streams, but more focused on produced quality content for the community. That's what I've been getting into really a lot lately, and with a lot of ideas I have. So that's going to be my path forward, and that's why, when I look at the time I have to spend on Top Clack, it doesn't match up on how I want to spend my creative freedom and my time I have creatively to work on things. And that's why I want to take my direction more on produced content as opposed to continual, regular live content. my content will also be regular, just not live in the moment. It'll be produced and released week by week. For those of you who may be wondering if I'm going to bring back This Week in Keyboards, it's a thought. I've been asked that already. Not sure. We'll see.
Yep, there you go. Paddington Burr says Massdrop required top clack. No. No. At this point in time, I would not accept sponsorship from Massdrop if they ask.
Never.
Nathan says Massdrop buys Huey from Top Clack for 15K. Oh boy, you guys are hilarious. I am Meru. I think that's how you pronounce that. Yo, I'm gonna keep watching anything both of you produce, regardless of what venue or affiliation you choose. We greatly appreciate that, honestly.
Yeah, because, you know, honestly, like Brian said, you know, things are so great between us. I'm still going to be watching this show every week, just not in it when I have time in the background while I'm working on other things. Brian's probably going to be watching my content as it comes out. I mean, we're still going to be, like, there to support each other. I'm still going to ask him for advice all the time. So, yeah it's going to be great.
Yeah, no, we're still great. Huey's always going to be, like, a brother to me. That's not going to ever be a problem. Talisman Solutions doesn't tag us, but I think he still has a pretty good question here. Serious question. I was surprised to see on quote-unquote another stream how hostile some people are to Kale box after the stress fracture issue. Are you aware of this pushback, and is there any updates to that subject? So Kale box switches had some issues with the tolerances. It's hard to say they were issues because it was a manufacturing decision because of one of the people that Kale was providing switches for. What was that company's name? Daru?
Daru? Yeah, Daru.
Daru?
Yeah.
Okay, so they were producing switches for Daru to their specification. In which I'm sure on their keyboards that they were using them in, they didn't have any keycap issues. But of course, you know, being the enthusiast community that we are, we're going to be using stuff like GMK, SA, and EnjoyPBT and stuff. So they had issues with that, and it wasn't quite as compatible with some of the stuff that we were using. So they decided to, tighten the tolerances and lower the spec a little bit for the measurement, which they did. And then they released the new switches, which most people have kind of just been calling retooled switches for the box variants. And it's been going fairly well. A couple people have noticed that there have been minor stress marks, but not cracks or fractures. So, you know, that's something to be aware of. A couple people have noticed this, but only a couple people on Keycap, really. No one else seems to be, like, having issues, really. But I think that's kind of where we are now. There hasn't been any kind of public statement on that from Mike of Novel Keys or anyone else, as far as I'm aware. So, I don't know. That's where we are on this.
Yeah.
Raging Asian asking, has Huey ascended to guest status?
I was a guest before.
Yeah, he was the first Top Clack guest, technically. Yeah, I'm sure Huey will come back at some point and grace us with his presence on an episode or two. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yes, I will still be active in the Discord channel. Chris McCain, I have the KN because he wanted to see the KN. My lighting is really bad right now, but I can take some pictures and post on the Discord later, and I'll tag you. But it's really nice.
That looks nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Sandwich. Meow
and Meow asking, so will there be more content on Top Clack's YouTube channel? There will be no more content from Huey on Top Clack's YouTube channel after this month. But I will still be working on YouTube content. I have a few things I'm still working on. I have my new series Behind the Keyboard, which I'm still trying to finalize. first guest for, because everyone keeps telling me no, that they don't have timing for it. But, you know, I'm working on that. I have a couple other things I've been working on, and of course I have a couple reviews I'm going to be putting out once Z Frontier gets me a couple review products to check out. So I will still be doing YouTube content. It just might not be as active and consistent as, let's say, Huey's new project will be, since he's going to be specializing in, you know, production content on the YouTube side, most likely. So, you know, there will still be Top Clack YouTube content, for sure. I have lots of things I need to work on, a huge list, huge backlog of things that need to go up. So, yeah, I'm still going to be pushing out YouTube content, don't worry. Lunar is asking, will you still be streaming time to time, Huey?
You know, to be honest, I'm very mixed about this subject. I've given it a lot of thought, and I still haven't reached a conclusion on how much I want to stream, which I know the answer is going to be very little, but what exactly I would stream, because a lot of the builds I would do, I could shoot footage of and make a great video out of for certain projects I have in mind. Maybe if it's like a rebuild for something that I wouldn't put in a video because I've already done a video on that keyboard or product or etc., I could stream it and be like a normal build stream-ish. But for a lot of like the newer things I'd get in, it wouldn't be live streamed like it is now. It would be, you know, shots, different angles and whatnot, and used in a video without, you know, the dizzying and annoying compression that Twitch provides because live. And instead I could just up the quality so you guys can have a really high quality build video / review / whatever else I insert in it. So I mean, what I would stream, I don't know. So that's still a continual process in my head on how that could or if it would work.
Yep. Viral Infection saying, you ever get a chance to type on a MacBook Pro 1st gen? I think they used butterfly switches. It was very amazing typing experience, very low profile, but with a press you could abort. I've never been able to find something like it again. I have never typed on one. I don't know.
I have. They're pretty nice, actually. They're not bad for keyboard laptops. The current ones now suck, but yeah. See?
Yeah, see? The Ice is Nice forgets to use the tag, but he does ask, what is your favorite keyboard at the moment? I don't ever have favorite.
Yeah. Alice? Easy answer, Alice.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, right now I'm using Tofu Win Keyless. I got the new V2 62-gram Zelios in here that I lubed with GPL 106. And, you know, it's pretty nice. Like cyan tofu with a little brass accent there and solarized dark. So it looks pretty good. I've been really enjoying this, as I've been really enjoying the new Zeal products. I've also been using the Helios. I have them on board next to me as well, and they're both just great so far. So that's my favorite today. Today, that is my favorite. Melodit asking, how will this affect sponsorships for Huey? You're gonna have to buy all your keyboards now, Huey?
I already buy all my keyboards, knowingly enough. Most of what Top Clack makes like goes back into Top Clack, not like because Top Clack has more than just keyboards, right? There's all the production stuff Brian needed to get, I had to get, you know, and all these different kinds of things. And like that actually didn't leave that much money for keyboards every month. Like, to be perfectly honest, like some months are like, so do you want to custom this month, or do I want to custom this month, or do you want to save and hope we can get better production equipment next month? That's kind of the truth. So I already spend like a lot on my own, but you know, and you know how this is going to affect sponsorships for Huey. You know, for my new project, my new channel and everything. You know, I kind of have a financial plan already laid out. I already have 2 sponsors on board. I'll not unveil who they are yet because I'm just gonna wait till I do my soft/hard launch. But I already do have sponsors who are lined up and ready to support my new project. They've already kind of heard my pitch, heard what I'm about. So I kind of have a plan moving forward on making sure that it can be sufficient, because produced video content isn't cheap and it takes time. And I wouldn't just go off and do that unless I had a plan on making sure that was worth my free time, other than just my love. which is enough.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. Like, whenever you see, like, a video from Huey, like, a review or something like that, like, there are so many hours and hours that go into something. So many. And, like, it just results in, like, a 6 minute, you know? And it's crazy, because a lot of people that aren't in the know, like, they don't, like, they just don't know. But it's insane how much time goes into even making a video. Yeah, and Huey deserves to be, you know, rewarded and compensated for that kind of work at that level. As for sponsorships on the Top Clack side, our sponsors were updated with what's going on days ago, and as far as I'm aware, everyone is still on board at the moment. So until we get news of that changing, Top Clack will still have the same sponsors. But you know, we'll see what happens. As per all of our contracts, we make things very easy, very casual. If any sponsor doesn't want to sponsor us anymore, or we don't want to be sponsored anymore by that person or that entity, you can just cancel at any time. It's that casual. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but I think most, if not all of them, are still going to be on board. I mean, Top Clack, like, even with Huey leaving, like, Top Clack's not really going to change, like, a whole lot, like, in terms of, like, what we do. Like, it's still, nothing's really changing. It just won't have Huey. Sushimi, thank you so much for that 3 month in a row to 1 sub.
Thanks, buddy.
But Whisper says Top Quake. Jerkstrap says Quake Clack. I'm still gonna keep the Top Clack moniker. I think that's probably the best idea. I don't plan on changing a whole lot. I just plan on, you know, trying to get better as a host myself, get better as a content creator myself, upping quality wherever I can, basically. That's pretty much what's going to be happening in the immediate. Viral Infection is asking, I got an 87 key Kale low profile blue, and I'm really enjoying, but know of any that are wireless ones? I like that low profile knowledge drop me. Yeah, the Hex Gears X1.
I'm holding it right here. You can check out from our partner site, Kono.store. They have it for $109 right now, I believe, which is their post Kickstarter pricing. So yeah, once it's good to go, then it'll be shipping out soon. It's in production right meow. Right meow. It's USB-C, Bluetooth 4.0, has the R's, the G's, and the B's. Yeah, Kono.store. Check it out when you get a chance. They're a wonderful sponsor.
Heck yeah. Generics Draft is asking, what font do you use for the logo? Presumably the Top Clack logo. I actually don't remember the name of it.
Clip.
Clip? How's that spelled? Is it just CLIP?
Yep.
All right. There you go. Viral Infection, thank you so much for the 50 bits. Appreciate that, my dude. Chewy asking, are you going to have more people join you for build streams? And this is actually something I've been thinking about the last couple days. With you know, Huey leaving, one thing I kind of want to focus a little bit on is trying to bring, like, more community members into, like, kind of, I don't want to say the spotlight, but just I want to involve the community members more on things. So I was kind of thinking of actually doing, like, some kind of, I mean, I guess you could call it a series, but, you know, live streams where where I, in theory, build with community members. There are drawbacks to this. Obviously, not everyone is going to have, like, a fancy camera to use or a nice mic. So there's a lot of logistics that kind of have to be worked out, but that is something I'm definitely thinking of. I want to get more people involved in things, more people involved in Top Clack. So that is something that you might actually be seeing. Absolutely. NGB asking, is Top Clack a legal entity? If so, did Brian buy Huey's
interest? So, a long time. So Top Clack as an entity was organized as a partnership, and the movements we did was called for a partnership dissolution. And so in the partnership dissolution, it dissolved the partnership that is I, Huey, and Brian, and we just enter dissolution negotiations in which we split up the ownership of items pertaining to the partnership. So, for example, Brian is continuing on Top Clack because we agreed in the negotiations that I am giving the rights to the name of Top Clack to Brian, for example. And then we're like, well, I have my camera equipment here. He has his there. We're just going to, split that stuff. You keep what we already have. Things like that. So, I mean, it was just really basic because
it was
Top
really
Clack doesn't have much. Other than the stuff like the cameras, the 4K cameras that we buy to improve our quality, our microphones, which we got for free, the arms.
A lot of it is just production equipment that I've had for a while, and Huey's had his stuff for a while, and it's just keep what you already have basically, and anything we'll split anything, and I'm just hey, I have a couple keyboards that I've acquired because of Top Clack. Are you interested in these? Do you want them? Do you need them? He did the same to me, and we're just okay, bam, bam, maybe I'm interested in this, maybe not. Okay, whatever, you keep that. Send me that, but you keep that, whatever. It was incredibly fast and easy negotiation between Huey and I, as you probably would expect.
Less than half an hour. Just a hair under half an hour. Yeah, it was really quick. Should we do the giveaways today or next week? I just remembered.
The giveaways? Oh,
a keyboard and a key set. Oh.
I don't know. Probably next week. That way we can work on a forum or something.
Like a send off, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Q&A coming up on an end here. If you guys have any last minute questions, feel free to ask now. Otherwise, we will be taking off very shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mom and dad are divorcing, says Olivia. Is Huey the giveaway prize? Yes, I'm giving away Huey.
Oof.
Massdrop is giving away Huey.
50K.
50K?
It's okay. If 500 people buy into me for the giveaway, I drop down to $100 MLQ.
Oof. Love it.
But if there's no other questions, we'll end it in a quick moment. Next week we'll have my last episode, which will be a fun time. Don't know if we'll have a guest. We'll see. I'll have some announcements for the things I'm working on in the future next week. I'll talk about it next week, unless you just want to talk about it to me on Discord. But I'll talk about it next week live on the show as well. About where my new content's gonna be. If you want to support me, you can. Whatever, etc., etc., etc. That'll all be talked about next week. But this week is basically over. If there's any other questions, Mog Genius, is it your fault, as in the community/chat? No, of course not. Never.
No, it's not anybody's fault. It's none of your guys' fault. Huey wants to do a little bit different of a direction than Top Clack is, and that is totally fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Basically, instead of being on the same track, we're on parallel tracks, heading the same way to success.
Yep. I will continue the Top Clack stuff, and Huey will divert to doing other awesome stuff. That will be wonderful, I imagine, and very, very helpful.
Looks like Blammy Boy has one final question since he had trouble getting onto Twitch. Paulie, thank you so much for the 100 bits.
Oh, he says, cheers to the two of you for the awesome run together. Man, I'm gonna cry next episode. I know it. I just know it.
let me prep the artificial tears. It's very hard for me to cry.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've cried.
How do we feel about the new Otemu Ice Sky compared to Ergo Clears? I haven't tried them yet. Otemu Ice I have. Otemu Ice don't get Otemu Ice at all. No, just no from Huey. Straight no. Skies, yeah, that's you.
I've had the Skies, and I had them in my QXP for a couple days. I think they feel pretty good. I think the springs are really bad. That's kind of where I'm at. So, I mean, I think the Euroclear is probably a better solution right now. Unless if you spring swap the Skies, I think the potential is definitely there with a little bit of lube, and the bump is very nice if you like that kind of thing. And I think the Skies would be beautiful too. I think the housing is really, really nice. But yeah, I mean, Ergo Clears are a little bit more tried and true at this point. But honestly, I would just get Zelios V2.
I'm honestly using Ergo Clears right now, and they're more consistent, so they're fine.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, you guys, Viral and Titan, Top Clack is still going to be great. Top Clack is still going to be great. You guys will still enjoy the show. Trust me. Top Clack's not going anywhere. Top Clack is still going to get even better than it was. So don't worry about that. The only benefit you can think of is there's going to be even more content in the future, because Brian's working on the content, both all the live stream continuously week by week. There's future reviews coming up, and I have a whole host of content that I've been working on. Not kind of, mostly just prep work, because logos are a pain in the ass, and random small BS like that. So yeah, oh my god, are we just gonna like spitfire these questions real quick? Raging Asian, wait, no, Calm Data, Helios or Telios? If you could only back one, and why? If I only had to choose one, Telios, because
yes,
no mush better than mush. Raging Asian, games tonight. If it's not Forza, yes. If it's Forza, that's just him. Generics Giraffe, what mouse does Nathan Kim use? Ask Nathan Kim. Meow meow meow. Favorite board update? I don't know what kind of question that is to me.
You're great at this. Are you sure you want to leave? Favorite board update. What does that mean?
Like, what's our favorite board right now? Alice.
We just got this question. I'm using the Tofu Windkeyless integrated plate with the lubed V2 62 gram Zelios. Yes, the V2 ones. Samples that we just got from Zeal. Pretty great stuff, honestly. I've been enjoying this board a lot. This is currently my favorite board. Currently, today. As of today, this is right now my favorite board.
Yeah.
Quakeum does awesome streams. Thanks, man.
He does. You guys should see his build streams. You guys haven't seen the VODs or the build streams? Good watches, especially if you can relax, kick your feet up, get a glass of whiskey to join Brian's past getting whiskey.
Yes, get the whiskey. Yeah, dude, last week's V2 build was nuts. I was like, I'm just gonna do
6 hours, dude.
Yeah, well, I was like, should I stop now? And chat was like, nah, you should just do this on stream. And I had like 50 viewers, which is like really good for a build stream.
Yeah.
Like that almost never happens. I was like, I just gotta keep going.
Keep going with the momentum.
I was like, I guess I'll lube switches. So I did that. Like rebuild a board, then I desoldered and rebuilt another board. Yeah, that was a great stream.
That was a great stream.
Really long, but it was really fun. What channels do I follow? You follow Huey's channel? You follow my channel?
Follow Top Clack, follow Nathan Kim, follow Chris Wires, follow another good streamer is Jay. I don't know his whole channel name. He's a UKer. Jay, would highly recommend him as another great build streamer to watch.
JAE.
Yes.
Jay Esoteric.
And most everyone, and that's the kind of like, that's like the, and or Nathan Kim, yeah, that's like the core group of people worth watching in the community.
Then you have, you know, Titans like Kuro-san, who does a lot of vintage stuff.
Well, I don't know if he meant for
popular.
Oh, I thought you meant live stream. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Did I misread?
He just says what channels.
Oh, Kuro-san, yes, Kuro-san for sure.
Kuro-san on YouTube, yeah. There's a plethora of them.
Yeah.
50 viewers at 4 a.m. Yeah, I went so late, dude.
Viral, if you join the Discord, links down below. We can post the links. Top Clack Discord, got you covered, boy.
Yep, below is the Top Clack YouTube channel and the official Discord link. So, you know, make sure to sub to the YouTube channel for some content. All the VODs get reposted there also, and then Discord for just chilling with us, talking, asking questions, whatever. We got you covered. Discord, we got lots of stuff going on in Discord.
We got some video games tonight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, video games fairly regularly.
Per the norm.
Yeah, so guys, thank you all so much for watching this week. Of course, we'll be back next week, the 25th of October, 6 p.m. Pacific, as usual. That will be Huey's last episode on Top Clack. we will be, you know, giving them a nice fond farewell, as well as our normal Top Clack content. So there you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. And next week, be there and be square.
Or be round in a square hole. Pegs and squares.
Be whatever you want.
We don't judge.
Just be you. Yeah, we don't judge here. Top Clack doesn't judge.